So let's take a look at Game Pass on the Steam Deck. Now, I know I've been gone for a minute, but I've been venturing off into many things. I got quite a bit of content that I have to drop from the things that I've been diving into, which I think you guys would be well pleased with, especially the commentary that's going to go along with it, the thoughts and ideas and things of that sort. But one thing that I want to speak about is Game Pass on the Steam Deck, my overall experience. How was the gameplay? Was it smooth? Was it laggy? How was the battery life? Was it a big drain or was it superb? Like, all of these things are questions that we have concerns about. What about if you go out and you're using your mobile Wi-Fi to play Steam Deck? How does the gameplay work in that area? I've had experience with all of these questions, and I want to give you guys the answers and what my experience was. And with that being said, let's get it. Now, one game that I love playing on here the most has to be the classic Gears of War, right? The Ultimate Condition, the one that came out with like the remaster for the Xbox One when that first dropped. And this experience actually has been really good, man, as far as graphical performance, as far as being a smooth running game, no lag, and it pretty much holds a steady 60 frames per second. It's a couple drops here and there, but it's not anything to really be concerned about. It holds steady for the most part, and I gotta say, man, I really do enjoy it. Like, it really brings back a lot of nostalgia for me because this is one of my favorite games from the 360. So to be able to take this and make this portable is just been a hands down experience, man. So I've actually played other ones as far as like Gears of War 2, 3, even 4 and 5 to that degree. Now, I don't think that 5 holds a steady 60 frames per second, but it doesn't run bad, it doesn't lag or anything like this. And just my overall Gears experience on the Steam Deck with Game Pass has been great. Nah, this is a single player game. I know most people are wondering how this game plays on multiplayer. Like, does it hold up? Does it lag? Like, what is that experience like? And I have to say, man, I popped on Fortnite, which is an easy way to play Fortnite on here as well when you have or when you're running Linux rather than going through all the workarounds, this, that, and the other. They added it on Game Pass. I absolutely love it. It just makes it like a hassle-free experience to play, and I have to say that the multiplayer experience has been nothing but great as well. I didn't lag at all. I had no issues. It was like I was playing on a console. Like, there was no streaming involved at all. It was just good, from like combat battles, from scrolling through menus. Like, everything was good here. I had no complaints whatsoever. Now, the next game I want to speak about is Remnant 2. And the reason why I chose this game, one, is because it's just fun, right? This is a major reason why I keep Game Pass, is to play this game. But it's a offline, online, multiplayer, single player game. However you choose to play it, right? It gives you that option and freedom. So this is actually picking up where I continued, where I left off like 2 months ago. In this game, it plays well, right? Now, it doesn't give you the 60 frames per second, but it does give you 30 frames per second, which still looks good. It still plays smooth and everything like that. I haven't had any issues or run-ins with it. I played this game for hours and hours trying to beat this boss, man, and this is why I stopped, because it was just so frustrating. Having a team is a lot easier and a lot better, but nonetheless, playing it by myself, man, I just couldn't do it. And I just, completely shut the game down and moved on to something else. But nonetheless, man, overall, it's an A+ experience. Never had any lag with this game. Never had any, like, shutdowns or sending me back to the home screen. It was just enjoyable. That's something I can say overall about my Game Pass experience on the Steam Deck. So, like, another cool addition, like if you're using a PS5 controller and you swiping the middle area on the controller, it serves as a mouse pad. And I didn't know this, because this little area here up in the corner where the frames per second is located, they just added that not too long ago, where you're able to exit out of games while you're in them. Before then, I always had to go back to the home screen, load it back up to start a new game, but that just makes it an even better overall experience, because I get to stay in the app and just go into my next game and load right up and dive in. But as you guys can see at this point, I'm playing Resident Evil 3, which is actually my most second favorite remake that they have made, apart from Resident Evil 1. I know people feel differently about that, as far as Resident Evil 2 being amazing and Resident Evil 4. I get all that, but I am a 3 fan. I love Nemesis to death, so I had to put it on here to see exactly how it performed and just how the gameplay was as well. Now, this is another game that may not give you the 60 frames per second overall, but the game game experience in itself is still going to be smooth. Like, it's still beautiful. It doesn't lag, as you guys can see here. And these are like, you know, high level cutscenes, and this game is still performing very well, kind of tottering between 30 and 40 frames per second, kind of shooting up to the 45 range. But nonetheless, man, the experience was still everything that I would get basically from a console, and it's on this handheld device. That's the thing that really blows me away about the Steam Deck, is just all of the power that is packed into it that you can take on the road. It blows out the Switch and many other handhelds that are out there. And I'm not bashing the Switch, because I am a Nintendo Switch fan. I have a Switch as well. That's what I played Kakarot on the most before I got the Steam Deck, okay? Because I love portability over graphics and power and things of that sort. But I feel like with the Steam Deck, I'm getting that experience of the console and having a portable device all in one. And that's the thing that really just basically keeps me going back to it, along with some other things that I'll release in future content. But nonetheless, man, playing on Game Pass was amazing. The graphics held up, the gameplay was smooth. Now, I do have to say this. Depending on the network or depending on what's going on, sometimes you will have maybe like a minute and a half load times to get into your games. I would just suggest backing out of them and then going back into the games. That way it speeds it up. Don't know why, it just does, or it just do, or will for that matter. And I have to speak about battery life, dealing with Game Pass. It is phenomenal. Phenomenal. It is phenomenal. I have to say, man, that I think I played Remnant 2 for like 4 hours while I was sitting in the bed, maybe like 10 at night or something to 12 a.m. And the overall experience that I got from the battery drainage was like 20%. And you normally think about playing Kakarot on this device in 2 hours, you might be down to like 30% or somewhere along those lines, or maybe 40 or 50%. But nonetheless, man, the battery is amazing. The gameplay is smooth. The graphics still look beautiful. You can play online or offline. It doesn't even matter. It's just that this is a wonderful experience. So I understand Microsoft not really focusing on consoles and more so pushing Game Pass to give you an overall play wherever experience. And that is exactly what you get here. So I have to give these guys a solid A for just overall experience that I've received on a Game Pass. Only reason they don't get an A+ is because the load times that are affected depending on the time of day or the network or whatever it may be, but that's not anything to deter me or steer me away from it. So with that being said, drop your comments down below. Let me know what your guys' experience was. Do you have Game Pass? You thinking about getting Game Pass? Either way, man, let me know. Hit that like and subscribe button. And with that being said, I'm out.